it definitely feels like all the physical distancing and stuff is basically thrown out the window. Seems like a lot of people are just treating it again just as a regular day. What did I read today? Basically a lot of tech stuff, robots, and I guess related to things like drones and stuff too with AI. How about this first cool one? This one says, Boston Dynamics launches commercial sales of Spot Robot. I've seen tons of videos of this Spot robot dog. It's kind of cool. It's like really agile, like for a robot dog. I guess it's meant to do a lot of tasks and so forth, like in the future when people actually use it, which now they say you can buy it. Boston Dynamics, the global leader in mobile robotics, today debuted its sales for Spot, the agile robot that climbs stairs and traverses through terrain with ease. This launch marks the first time that businesses can purchase a Boston Dynamic robot and represents Boston Dynamics' first online sales offering. As usual, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's doing all this stuff like pulling like a truck and stuff like that. And they basically have different versions of this. And what do you think the price is? It isn't for like a regular person. Like it says here, the Explorer is $74,500. And if that's supposed to be like the cheapest one when they list the price, everything else, like the Enterprise one, it says request for a quote. Man, what's that one gonna cost? Like $200,000? I know there are people who collect things like expensive cars even though they don't drive them. Is there anyone who would actually collect things like this, like robots, expensive ones at that? Although if I got something like this, I'd basically use it and test it out. Usually when you think of companies like Qualcomm, you'll think of things like processors for the phones, like the Snapdragons, but I guess this one, they're going to be using it for things like drones potentially. It says, Qualcomm launches world's first 5G and AI-enabled robotics platform. Qualcomm QRB5165 robotics processor enables AI/ML, heterogeneous computing, enhanced computer vision, multi-camera concurrency with advanced ISPs while supporting industrial-grade temperature range and security at every layer. You can see what that kit looks like too, I guess you could say. Would you attach like a propeller to it? It is like a development kit. It says, Qualcomm today announced the Qualcomm Robotics RB5 platform, the company's most advanced integrated comprehensive offering designed specifically for robotics. Building on the successful of Qualcomm Robotics RB3 platform and its broad adoption in a wide array of robotics and drone products available today, the Qualcomm Robotics RB5 platform is comprised of an extensive set of hardware, software, and development tools. The Qualcomm Robotics RB5 platform is the first of its kind to bring together the company's deep expertise in 5G and AI to empower developers and manufacturers to create the next generation of high compute, low power robots and drones for consumer, enterprise, defense, industrial, and professional service sectors. I would imagine this stuff would be really good for things like mapping areas, like when you're flying a drone and all that. I guess it would be good for things too, like automated missions, which made me wonder again, like yesterday, if all this thing is going to be automated, tracked through satellites and all that, will people actually need any kind of license, so to speak? I've never flown a traditional manned aircraft before, like a plane, but it makes me think of that comment where people have been telling me when people fly planes like that, like more commercialized ones, it's actually automated in many ways, whereas a person like me, I assume you're flying it like hands on the wheel, like every single second, just like if someone's driving a car on the road, but apparently that's not the case. And then the person told me, for example, well, when people fly helicopters, that's different. That requires like almost full manual flight and stuff like that. It makes you think whether or not when people come up with regulations that have nothing to do with safety, if that's their basis in terms of a reference all the time, like, oh, flying this drone must be like flying like a traditional helicopter and all that. I guess the COVID stuff isn't stopping even here. It says here from the official, I guess, release from things like the health people, it says, today we are announcing 19 new COVID-19 confirmed positive cases for a total of 2,775 cases in British Columbia. I know a lot of people are misinterpreting the whole situation where they think we're just going to completely get rid of it, but to my understanding, the whole point of this is to not overwhelm things like hospitals. Like you don't want to just say 1 million people, like they say, getting the virus and then overflowing the hospital. Is that a scary thought to people where eventually you are going to get it per se? At the same time, wouldn't that be kind of interesting where, let's just say this thing has been actually going on for like half a year or whatever, like we're just oblivious, so people that were infected, they're already infected, and I guess people that were immune to it are going to become immune to it. That'd be kind of interesting to think about. It will be interesting to look back in history. Like I said, once everything is done with, you won't have to rely on things like back in my days type of story, because there's going to be so much video and content and stuff like that in relations to this. All right, see you guys later.